In focus now, Republican Congressman Andy Biggs of the great state of Arizona, member of the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees, and he's also a Republican candidate for Arizona governor. Great to see you today. So talk to me about the track that this case is on right now, and then I do want to get to that presidential immunity, but we'll do that second.
Yeah, so this is going for an investigation, FBI, DOJ, and they're going to look into this to see if there's criminality or criminal culpability on the part of any of these individuals, whether it's Brennan, Clapper, Comey, and other senior officials in the intelligence community, and perhaps even President Obama, and perhaps even Joe Biden, who was at several of these meetings, although it doesn't appear he might have culpability. That's a little bit less likely. But that's the track that they're on now. They're looking at these documents that are coming out, and you had the intelligence community assessment be completely contravened by Brennan at the instructions, perhaps looks like, of former President Obama. That is massive because that was designed, and the purpose, at least of the documents that we've seen so far, was to undermine President Trump and undermine the election of President Trump and his ability to get anything done as well. That almost sounds like a coup, at least a soft coup anyway. You're not going to take him out, but you're going to prevent him from being able to accomplish anything by attacking him in this way.
Yeah, I mean, basically telling Trump, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. It's their territory. Okay, so when that DOJ and FBI official investigations, if and when those get going, this just already, according to DNI Gabbard, has a lot of evidence in it. This will be interesting to watch. Let's get to this. President Biden's former chief of staff, Ron Klain, just finished his testimony on Capitol Hill. And the House Oversight Committee's latest interview in its investigation into the alleged cover-up of President Biden's mental decline. We are waiting to see if Ron Klain will do what others have done, and that is just simply, cue the fifth, take the fifth. Let's watch.
I must respectfully decline to answer based on the physician-patient privilege and reliance on my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer the question pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer the question pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution.
Well, more former Biden officials are set to testify over the next 2 months. Whether they will actually answer questions remains to be seen. In a recent interview, Hunter Biden said his dad's use of Ambien contributed to his disastrous debate performance, which basically got him tossed aside by Democrats last year for off the ticket. Anyway, Oversight Chair Comer is hoping Ron Klain will shed some light on that and says it's concerning.
That is a mind-altering drug. Hunter Biden gives his infamous interview, and he says that the reason his dad did poorly in the debate was because he was loaded up on Ambien. I mean, was that a one-time deal, or was he on Ambien every day? If so, then that's a problem.
You know what, Congressman, I was just curious. I said, well, Ambien, a lot of people take that. Would that be? I didn't realize that it's classified as a federally controlled substance by the DEA. And in fact, it can be misused, abused, leading to potential dependence or addiction, especially with prolonged loose or higher than prescribed doses. And it is definitely indicated against use by anybody over the age of 65. That would definitely be Biden. We don't know if what Biden's son was saying is true, because now he's trying to walk it back. But he used that specific word, and he described his dad taking it. So make what you will.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. I don't know that you're going to get much out of Ron Klain on that because he wasn't there for the last 2 years, and then he was chief of staff. But the doctor, Dr. O'Connor, he did take the fifth. He took the fifth. As I sat there, we were lucky to get his name out of him. And the reality is, there's probably something. We think that that's indicative that there's something there, and then Hunter kind of gave the game away when he said, "Yeah, they were doping my dad on Ambien." So was he tired because he'd been in Europe, or was he exhausted and incapacitated in that debate and other places because they had him doped up? That's the real question we're trying to get to.
Well, and it's worth it. And by the way, if you're looking for more information, it's zolpidem tartrate. You can go to their website and read all about why it is looked at so closely and considered to be a controlled substance. New Fox polling shows 62% of voters think President Biden was somewhat or not at all involved in making important decisions near the end of his term. That number is consistent, dating all the way back to July of last year. So even then, people thought, okay, he's not right. More than 50% of voters say they think it's important for Congress and the Department of Justice to investigate the former President Biden's advisors for this. Your reaction?
Yeah, absolutely right. The American people need to know who was really running the country. I mean, those of us who in Congress were saying who's running the country. Democrats would tell me they were not even going up to the White House to see the president. That's really unusual. And then you're seeing all kinds of weird decisions. He seemed to be in hiding almost domestically. Then you saw that debate performance, and it kind of confirmed what we all thought, that maybe he's not there. Maybe he's incapable. And the Democrats apparently thought so, because within 3 weeks they took him off the ticket, and without a single vote in the primaries, they gave it to Kamala Harris to run in his place. So it seems to me that the American people really deserve to know who was running it, who was signing legislation, who was signing documentation going to foreign countries, who was signing these pardons and commutations that he was issuing, who was signing any of these documents, and who was running the White House. And that's really that's the biggest, weirdest scandal probably in American history since Woodrow Wilson's wife was running the White House.
Well, those are very serious stakes that you just outlined, and it's why we want to get to the bottom of it. And when you talk about foreign policy, especially, look at where the world was when he left. Just the big steaming pile of what left behind by him. We do need to know what happened. Congressman, always great to have you on the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Harris. Good to be with you.